Meanwhile, the Pakistani security establishment has placed similar curbs on Jaish-e-Mohammed's madrasa in Balakot. This madrasa is now out of bound for journalists. Nobody can go. This is the madrasa that India had struck last week. We're talking about the preemptive strike on the 26th of February. A team from news agency Reuters has been denied access to the site for the third time in 9 days. The reason being given to them is security concerns. Now, here's the interesting part. The Pakistani government has repeatedly said that the Indian strike in Balakot caused no damage. And to prove that point, they even took a group of journalists to the site. Of course, these were journalists that were handpicked by the government. Even these people were not allowed to go to the Jaish-e-Mohammed madrasa. In fact, WION's Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik has been trying to gain access to, and he travelled all the way to Balakot, but he was not allowed anywhere close to the madrasa. Meanwhile, this is what the Reuters report says, and I'm quoting, "The building that reporters could see was surrounded by undamaged pine trees and did not show any signs of damage or activity, but given the view, the assessment is very limited." In other words, Reuters is saying it's hard to tell how much damage has been done. 2 days back, the very same agency, Reuters, had reported that the Jaish-e-Mohammed madrasa is still standing and virtually unchanged. This claim was based on images from commercially available satellites. Essentially, the report tried to discredit the operation carried out by the Indian Air Force, and Reuters was trying to tell the world that there had been no damage. Exactly what the Pakistani government has been saying. So now we ask, without access to the actual madrasa, how could Reuters decide the extent of the damage? There is another question worth asking here. If Pakistan claims that nothing happened in Balakot, why has it cut off access to journalists? We asked this to a Pakistani journalist and managing editor of Daily Times, Ahmad Shaheen. This is what he said.
I think the fence that we called national security is the reason why people who are not the most likable journalists would not be given access. Independent journalists, international journalists would not be given access to those places. But it wouldn't be the case with a few the select journalists who would be given access, who have been allowed to go there and report. And also the more criticized and the not so liked journalists of Pakistan, forget about the international reporters for now, they're also very reluctant to intervene too much and to go into those areas that the state is not very comfortable with those journalists going. I think in order to have a clearer stance on the factual point of what happened in Balakot, I think the government shouldn't be about the government allowing or not allowing. It should be about the government giving an open invitation to local journalists, to progressive journalists, to international journalists, and to the ones that are even speaking up a little bit about facts and confronting the facts that are coming out. I think it's the government who needs to give them access rather than journalists trying to fight for it.